Sally was stressed. She and Sam had been married for over 50 years, had raised a family, and now Sam was declining in cognitive health. Sally is his default caregiver. She's there all the time. Their kids love them, but they live out of state. They talk by phone once or twice every week, and the conversations go something like, "Hey, Mom, how's it going? Fine. How you doing? Fine. How's Dad doing? Fine. Is anything I could do to help? No. Okay, Mom, have a great day. Bye." The kids had a gut feel that things are not right, and Sally just didn't want to fess up. We had a real life case like that this week where the mom just didn't want to tell the kids how bad it actually was. What was she afraid of? She was afraid that if the kids knew, they would insist that Dad go to a nursing home. And they didn't want that. Mom didn't want that. And in the Sam and Sally case, Sally didn't want that. She and Sam had promised each other years ago that neither one of them would ever go to the nursing home. The other one would do everything possible to keep them at home. And Sally's living up to her end of the bargain. She planned to go down with a ship. She would take care of Sam till the bitter end. All of this was taking a toll on her health. Matter of fact, the last doctor's visit, Sally's doctor was very blunt with her. He said, "Sally, unless you get some help taking care of Sam, you're going to die." The stress was taking a toll, and Sally knew she couldn't do it much longer. The last 3 or 4 years have been tough, and the last 3 or 4 months have been especially tough. Sally didn't know where to turn for help. Sally's a smart woman. She could look at her options, but she can't do everything at once. All of her time was occupied taking care of her husband, and she had very little mental or emotional energy left to find out what options were available and which would be appropriate for her husband. All she knew, she didn't really want him to go to the nursing home. There were so many factors to consider, but the biggest thing that Sally was most concerned about is what if something happened to her, what would happen to Sam? She even told us she laid awake at night thinking about that. What if this did take a toll on me, like the doctor was saying, and I died? What would happen to Sam? So Sally finally decided that she would do what she promised Sam that she would never do. She would admit him to a nursing home. Sam's cognitive health had declined to the point when he could no longer be at home. He could no longer be in an assisted living facility. He had to go to a nursing home. Sally checked with a business office, and they told Sally that she wouldn't qualify for Medicaid assistance. And Sally said, "What do I do?" And she was told that she would just have to spend it down. The average cost of care in our state at nursing homes is a little over $8,800 a month, so Sally just started writing a check. She and Sam had about $100,000 saved up, and it didn't take her long, about a year, to go through all of that money to pay for Sam's care. After this, Sam was still in the nursing home, still needed care, and Sally was out of money. She did the only thing that she knew to do. She went to the local bank and applied for a home equity loan on their paid-for home. She took that money out and used for Sam's care. Once that money was gone, which took about another year, Sam still needed care, and Sally was out of options. She didn't know what to do. Finally, someone told Sally, "Sally, maybe Sam could qualify for Medicaid assistance." So he applied for Medicaid and got it, and now his care is being paid, and he's getting his care needs met at the nursing home. But what about Sally? Sally's 78 years old, broke, and deep in debt. And the bad news is none of this had to happen. Sam could have continued to have gotten the care he needed from the very beginning in the nursing home, and Sally didn't have to spend all of her money. She didn't have to take out a home equity loan on her paid-for home and spend that money. And she didn't have to be in the dire situation she's in now, which is 78 years old and deep in debt with a home equity loan, with the only thing to pay it each month is their Social Security check. Now Sally's having to make a decision each month whether she's going to pay the home equity loan payments or eat. And it's almost that bad. The Sam and Sally story is fictional, but we see Sally stories almost every week where someone just didn't know. Maybe they got some bad information and they just paid and paid until all of the money was gone. And then they apply for Medicaid after all of the money's gone, and it's too late. They could have and should have done something much earlier. Well, we're going to be talking about some of these things further in future videos. One thing I wanted to point out now, in our office, we have elder care coordinators, or ECCs, whose job it is to work with our clients, whether they're at home in an assisted living or nursing home, to make sure that they get the care that they want and need, and to point out some big things that may have been overlooked. Poor Sally was in a situation where she couldn't see the big rocks in the road. She didn't know what her options were, and she was too busy caring for her declining husband to find out, and her kids lived a few thousand miles away, and they couldn't be there to help. Their hands were already full with their jobs and their families, and they had more than they can do already, other than just to call mom a few times a week and offer moral support. If you're in a situation like Sally, just know that there may be something you can do. Help is not available in every situation, but it's available in many situations. So if you're caring for a declining spouse, or if you're one of the adult kids caring for a parent, whether you're personally providing care or managing the care from a few thousand miles away, just know that there are options. They're good options, and many of these options can be paid with government assistance. If you have a parent or spouse in this situation and you have questions, please give us a call, 501-843-9014. Thanks for watching. We'll see you on the next video.